If you, like me, grew up in the 90s watching cartoons, Spider-Man, Venom, he was the I loved him. That's where I was introduced to him. I loved him. Carnage, okay. He was okay. I always thought he was a derivative, but he was cool. He was alright. You know what I'm saying? Venom was it though. Venom was it. Anyway, they got upgraded this week thanks to the Void Knight coming into the whole Marvel Strike Force universe. So now I'm going back to revisit the symbiotes, but only Carnage and Venom. I'm not gonna do all of them. But you know what? All this introduction, let's just get to the video.
Everybody loves a hero. People line up for them, cheer them, scream their names, and years later they'll tell how they stood in the rain for hours just to get a glimpse of the one who taught him to hold on a second longer. I believe there's a hero in all of us.
Hi guys, I'm Gravy here, and this is a Marvel Strike Force video. In this video, adjusted some of the settings real quick. Hopefully it's better, but I'm going to go into Venom and Carnage. I'm going to do Carnage first because, well, one, they had an upgrade, as I mentioned before in the intro. Two, I was doing Dark Dimension 5, if I'm not mistaken. That's the one I'm on. 6, I can't even touch right now. I was doing 5, and I was trying to get past the non-legendary city. And Carnage and Venom, along with the rest of the symbiotes, I believe I had Spider-Man, Symbiote, Scream, and Anti-Venom. And they got through halfway, and then they got wrecked. And then Carnage and Venom basically took out the rest, like the last like 7 or 8 from that level of Dark Dimension that I needed. And I was like, this is nuts. And one of the abilities I saw in Carnage was like, oh, like when I was going up against the 8, like when I think it was like Spider-Man, Symbiote was like the last one to fall before these two fell. Anti-Venom went by really quick. Anyway. And so, like, I was like, okay, here we go. And then I saw an ability on Carnage that was like, oh, we might have a chance. And we did. We won. So, here we go. Cleave. Let's start up at the top. Attack primary target for 230% damage. If the primary target has a negative status effect, chain to 1 or 2 adjacent targets for 100%, 90% damage. Plus, spread the 2 negative effects from primary target to secondary targets. Plus 50% damage to primary and secondary targets. Now, the idea that he chains based on the fact that if one of the primary targets has, if the primary target has a negative status effect, that's really cool. I like that a lot. Also because this team does buff heavy, right? Or debuff heavy, I should say. They do put a lot of debuffs out there, especially with Venom. So that's not a bad thing to have, and you're spreading the 2 negative status effects from primary target to secondary targets. I like it. 1 to 2 adjacent. Still need to look up that adjacent thing. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it yet. I gotta remember to do it after this. Anyway, and I think that was that full thing. This will not spread stun. That would have been nice though. Spread stun, why not? It's just going to 1 or 2. It ain't even, it's like, let me spread the stun. Anyway, counterattack breaks the chain. Gotcha. Remove all negative effects from primary target. Attack all adjacent targets for 180% damage. That's not the part I wanted to read. Attack primary target for 350% damage plus 100% additional damage per negative status effect. That was the ability I saw where it was like, oh no, I might win. Because the rest of the team had a lot of like bleeds, disrupt. There was a bunch of stuff on them defense downs. And the target I was looking at, I was like, yo, I'm about to take him out right now. It removed all the negative status effects, of course, from primary target. Attack all adjacent targets for 180% damage. But it did some work in that scenario. In raids, do not remove any negative effects from primary target. That is even better. So I get to do all that damage without removing the negative status effects. Attack all adjacent targets for 350% damage instead. That's 200% up. Well, 170. That is, I like, and I'm trying to think in raids. Now, see, here's the problem with raids, and maybe it's because I need to change alliances. I'm not sure. My raids are basically me just simming through everything. And whenever I try to do like level 90 raids or something along those lines, I think it's like the Doom raids and the Incursion raids. The rest of my team can't, the rest of my alliance can't keep up. So I think I need to change alliances, which means I need to be more intense in the game. I'm in the game pretty intense, So maybe, and I have been complaining to myself about not having enough like PvE content to do anything. I'll just sit there and be playing the game like I've done everything. So maybe I need to switch alliances. Maybe that's it. All right, so now on Absolute Carnage, if the primary target is above 50% health, apply Disrupted for 2 turns and an additional bleed for 2 turns. An additional bleed for 2 turns. If, like, yo, if the target is above 50% health and I'm already at the top, apply Disrupted for 2 turns. I do like that. And an additional bleed for 2 turns. Attack primary target for 500% piercing and apply 2 bleeds for 2 turns. Ah, I get it now. They kind of switched the order on this thing. I should be reading this first. So attack the primary target for 500% piercing ignores defense, and apply 2 bleeds. I'll apply 3 bleeds if they're above 50% health, and disrupt it for 2 turns. That's nice. And then this attack cannot be dodged. I love that. I love that so much. If primary target is below 50% health, apply offense down for 2 turns, defense down for 2 turns, slow for 2 turns to primary target, and gain offense up for 2 turns, defense up for 2 turns, and speed up for 2 turns. Yo, okay. So if you're new to the channel or new to the game, level 6 is where I usually stop when I use the T4 ability. Well, all the ability materials. And T4 especially because that's very, very scarce. This ability is level 7 worthy, I think. I think this level is a very selfish ability, but I think this ability would be worth the 240 T4 material. The A1, in my view, is not worth the 180. All right, so now going down her. Absolute Carnage is that one that I just read. So last one, the passive, Frenzied Fury. When an enemy drops below 50% health, fill speed bar by 20% for self and all symbiote allies, plus heal for 10% of this character's health. On kill, apply vulnerable to the enemy with the lowest resistance that does not have vulnerable. That's kind of a cool thing. Fill speed bar by plus 10%, so then it would be 30% instead of 30% instead of 20%. Whenever any enemy has taunt, gain 50% crit damage. So any enemy. It didn't say for each enemy. Okay. The 10% speed bar I like. I'm tempted for the 200 T4, but I would rather put it into the A3. Actually, the Absolute Carnage, I'd rather put the T4s in there. So I'll wait on that. I do like Carnage. I do. Let's move on. Let's move on to Venom. Venom. Absolutely love Venom. Actually, you know what? Let me try to start doing this a little bit more often too. Health, 906. Damage, 52. Now, this isn't necessary. Like, this really does heavily depend on where your level is. Crit chance is 10%, so he doesn't have a lot of crit. He does not dodge. He's speed. He's okay. Actually, outside of the top 30, if I'm not mistaken. Block amount, 25%. Okay. And then accuracy is 100%. All right, cool. So we go over here. We go to Venom. Let's go ahead and directly compare the stats. 980 for Venom in terms of health versus this was, 906. Okay. And then the speed, the 52%, 52,000, 27,000 on the armor and the damage. For Carnage, I'm looking at damage is 58, armor's 27, focus is 18, resistance is 15, focus is 22, and then resistance is 15. So, like, you're going to be more like, okay, so, by the way, in case you guys don't know, so the focus is your ability to lay down debuffs, to lay down negative stats effects, and your resistance is your resistance to you getting hit with any. It's more likely for me to drop or to actually like sustain negative stats effects on the enemy with Carnage. That's a plus on his side. However, there's a lot more health over here on Venom and a little bit more damage. Okay, so and speed-wise, he is slow. Carnage got him. Block chance is 0%. Block amount 25%. Okay. Damn. Venom slow as hell, dog. All right, so here we go. Maul. I like the Maul ability, by the way. Attack primary target for 230% damage, plus flip 2 positive status effects into negative effects and apply bleed and heal block. That's a pretty beast ass like A1. It really is. And then I might have to take this level 7 right now. Is this more important than the Carnage A3 Absolute Carnage Maul? Already, I got this question. Okay, so already I got this question in my head, right? Attack primary target for 230% damage. Plus flip 2 positive status effects. So right here, field speed bar by 20. That's the thing I'm really looking at. Field speed bar by 20 for 180 T4 ability material. On the A1. So if he gets called assist, that's going to go, right? And then when I've used his other abilities and I'm using his A1, I'm feeling speed bar up each time I'm using the A1. The A1 is going to be the most frequently used ability for most characters. I got to come back. I got to think on that. Okay, so plus I like Venom outright more, like just the because this is part of it. This is part of the fun to me. Like I want to develop the characters that I like, learn some new characters that I don't know so much, read the comic books on them. I've already done some videos on the comic book corner too. Haha. But like that is part of it. Like I want to use Venom more because I like the character Venom. So yeah, I'll be a nerd about it and also like have that weigh down a little bit more on it. I'm still thinking on it. Okay, focus. Violate. Attack primary target for 380% damage. Apply ability block for 1 turn. Heal block for 2 turns. And 3 bleeds for 1 turn. Now see, this is the same thing as Carnage's Absolute Carnage, except for it's all for 1 turn. It's all for 2 turns, and this one's all for 1 turn. In raid, bonus attacks for primary target are 380%. And this attack cannot be dodged. Now, as soon as I said that, I noticed what was down here for abilities for the level 7 here. Apply 3 bleeds for 2 turns. Okay, so only the bleeds for 2 turns. And then everything, the ability block and the heal block. Well, the heal blocks are already 2 turns. The ability block would still be 1. Prolong all negative status effects on primary target by 1 up to maximum 3. Oh, this hurts my head. That's cool. That is cool. It's only 1, but if I got a target over there with like disrupted, ability block, and bleeds for a lesser negative status effect, like disrupted prevents them from getting any more positive status effects. You know what I mean? Stun. Well, I mean, does that work on stun too? Does that mean then you can be stunned for like 2 turns instead of the 1? Gotta think on that one. Next, on corruption. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 220% damage, plus apply heal block for 2 turns and offense down for 2 turns. Spread all negative status effects from primary target to all adjacent targets. This will not spread stun. So he does on the A3 what Carnage does on the A2. This attack cannot be blocked, except there's one but the positive here is that it doesn't remove the negative status effects. Only in Carnage, when he's in raid, it doesn't remove the negative status effects. Here, it's going to spread it. I knew there was something. There's a difference. Carnage plus 100% damage per negative status effect. This one does not increase the damage. However, it does spread the negative status effects. It does not remove the negative status effects on his, but on Carnage's, it removes them all if you're outside of raids. Okay. I know I'm saying that as if I'm explaining it to you. Honestly, I'm really saying that to get it into my head. You know what I mean? Like, this is where the decisions get made. All right, so now on the passive, Symbiotes. On turn, heal for 15% of this character's max health and apply defense up for 2 turns to self and all symbiote allies. That's just on his turn. He heals himself and gives out defense ups. It's just on his turn for 2 turns. So that means you're always going to have at least 1-2 defense ups when you're running with Venom and the symbiote synergy. When an enemy gains heal block, apply counter to self or 1 random ally that does not have counter. Gain plus 100% focus if any Spider-Verse character is present. So whether it's on the enemy side or on our side. On turn, gain plus 10% speed up to a max of 30% speed. On turn, plus 10% speed up to a max of 30%. I don't understand. I guess it stops at the speed at the speed bar. I don't know. While this character or any Spider-Verse ally has counter, those characters gain 15% plus 15% chance crit chance. I mean, this is okay, but I'm not. This is one of those. I'm not level 5. No, this one, no. I keep coming back to it. Feeling that speed bar by 20% on an A1 is nice. That's nice. So that's Venom and Carnage. Have to say I'm really impressed with Carnage. Venom, or I'm sorry, really impressed with Venom. Carnage seems like he's good. He's good. I'm not denying how good he is, but I'm really, really, really liking Venom. So I'm gonna take them into probably Blitz right now, and maybe even raids. I think I have some raid energy. So we now return you to your previously scheduled programming. I did it in the middle of it. I just did a YouTube short. So now I'm going back to doing this video. Now what I've done is I've gone into raids, right? And I know my alliance won't even like really do this or complete this, but I do want to see the symbiotes in action in raids. So I think it says preview. I'm gonna launch it. Yeah. And I'm gonna do a real quick like couple battles and then call it a video because I gotta get back to work. And then yeah. So join, but I want to see how they perform here. And in the raids that we're doing in my alliance, they're not strong enough. Oh, see, this even has BO, so it's okay, we're good. I probably should have checked that first. Oops. This has mutant. Why am I pronouncing mutant like every single syllable? Mutant. Like, why am I doing that? Anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and go here. Let's see. All their power levels for that team are 120, so our guys should be in the key word in that sentence. Dispatches them relatively quickly. Put Venom front and center, because that's the homie. Scream. I can't wait to be able to take her like tier 16, because I'm just tired of seeing those orange bars behind her. But then also so she can kind of like keep up with my team a little bit better. But also anti-venom falls off pretty quickly too, so I'm not simming through this. We're gonna fight. And I still haven't decided if I want Maul or that's where I stopped to do the YT short. I didn't know if I wanted to do Maul, the A1 on Venom, or Absolute Carnage, the A3 on Carnage. And I went back and read all that stuff you get from Carnage on Absolute Carnage. It is so much stuff. And I think I might have to do that. But man, getting 20% speed bar every time you use your A1 is huge. It is absolutely huge. It's upsetting. I don't know which one to choose. But maybe I'm putting too much like investment in that speed bar. Anyway, okay, so here we go. So now the A3 primary target, 50% health, disrupt for 2 turns. An additional bleed, so 3 bleeds total. This attack cannot be dodged. And if I had that extra ability, if I had it level 7, offense down, I might have to, because then I even open up with it. I even can open up with this thing. Oi, and then there's Disrupt over there on Hela. He did some pretty good damage. He did hella damage on Hela. I know, but I'm a dad. I'm allowed to make dad jokes. So here we go. Boom. Spider-Man symbiote. He in the paint. And then here we go. Carnage. Oh, had a passive just go off. And then Scream. Honestly, this video isn't about Scream, so I'm just going to let her go. I'm not really going to go through her kit. Like, the only kits I'm going to really worry about. He's still doing the Frenzied Fury. I need to go back and check this passive and see what it's doing exactly. Because I'm seeing him do stuff just about every turn. And I need to remember what it actually is. Okay, so here we go. I don't need any healers. Let's just go ahead and get Hela up out the paint. And then give us regeneration, all that other jazz. There's Symbiosis. Cool. Where is it? Symbiosis on turn, heal by 15%. Cool. Applies defense up to everybody. Everybody here has defense up for 2 turns. We like to see it. When an enemy gains heal block, we're not worried about that. Gain focus Spider-Verse, not worried about that. All right, so now on his turn, he went last, bro. Attack primary target, heal block. This is the one that spreads negative status effects. I'm going to save this for when we have more negative status effects out there. Attack primary targets. You have ability block, heal block for 2 turns. See, this is the one that would be nice. Oh, and then raid primary target, 380% damage. This is the one that if I could go with this first and then hit that A3 later, perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right, so now there's Carnage doing Frenzied. Okay. Jessica Jones over there trying to hit. Now, this is the Frenzied Fury. When an enemy drops below 25% health, Fill speed bar by 20% of self and all symbiote allies. Heal 20%. On kill, vulnerable to an... Okay. So then he's doing frenzy whenever an enemy drops below 25% health. He's doing that more. I'm not seeing it. Let me see. Let me see. I might be going crazy over here. All right, here we go. A1, please. See, he's doing Frenzied Fury just then. So it's whenever an enemy drops below 25% health, or is it that I drop... Oh, does it say by 25% health or to 25% health? I need to double check that again. Okay. All right. This is research and development, folks. This is what we do. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out these characters. All right. Best way to use them. Make sure I understand every... Okay, so there's that heal. We got speed ups. We got defense ups coming. All from this passive. Or no, not the defense. Yeah, no, defense ups. But the speed ups came from who, though? That's what I'm wondering. I guess the speed ups came from one of the other members I'm not paying attention to. So let's go ahead and... Wait. Wasn't that supposed to spread those negative status effects? But this one does increase damage. Oh. So the frenzied. When an enemy drops below 25% health. Okay. Okay, so that's not that. Okay, cool. I'm just seeing it. Maybe I'm missing something very, very obvious at the moment. Looking so hard I can't see the forest for the trees kind of deal. All right, so there we go. He's getting back to it. She must be the one giving us, yeah. On death of any character, heal all symbiotes by 5%. Apply speed up, symbiotic attachment. That's what it is. If this character has 3 or more symbiote allies, apply 30 plus 20% or minus 20% resistance on all enemies. Okay, cool. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I guess I need to check I need to check the passives of each of these guys. Wretched healer on turn, clear 1 negative status effect from most injured ally that has a negative status effect. If that ally is a symbiote, clear 1 negative status effect from all other symbiote allies with a negative status effect. Gain regeneration. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Let's go and get it. Let's go and get it. Oh, by the way, heads up, guys. There will be a part 2 to this. I don't know if I mentioned this before. See, using this A1 right now. First time I'm using the A1, okay? And he's using it twice. Twice. He's filling the speed bar up by 40. I ran out of time because I was too busy talking. Got defeated, so I just lost everybody. Damn. Oh, twice. Twice. If you use the ability twice, I'd be at 40% speed bar after that. So what I'm going to do right now, because I forgot that there's a timer on there. So I may just need to, let's see, launch. And you guys might see me have to, no, wait, what? So I didn't get defeated. I have a set time, but none of them died. Because I thought if time ran out, or do I have to just do the whole thing over again from the beginning? Because if that's the case, that's cool. I'm fine with that. If I got to start over and I still get to keep my characters, bet. I thought that if I didn't make it by the time ran out, all of them gonna end up dead. Learn something new, bro. Learn something new. Okay. Wait, and that's not all the... Yeah, there's only 7 of the 12. So why do they only give me 5 minutes if I get to keep all my characters that are fully... Okay, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and put this on auto. I do still want to figure out where that extra stuff is coming from. It must be coming from Spider-Man Symbiote. Why? Because now I'm really confused. Why do you have the timer if nothing recovers? Meaning there is no like, oh, you didn't do it in time, so you lost all your characters, or oh, you didn't do it in time, so now you start from 0. It's literally just making me do the work in 5-minute increments. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm cool with it now, especially since we're doing the video. Actually, maybe this is the surefire bet that I need to actually do these videos or some of this stuff in raids a little bit more often as a demonstration for like research and development. But that's gonna see regenerate. See, I didn't want him to use that ability. I wanted him to use that on the next fight in the Doom raid. Because I feel like I'm going to... That's awesome animation. I feel like I'm going to have to do this whole thing myself and even spend some like power cores to get it done. just because I want to get it done since I'm here now. Hopefully, it gives me some T4 ability materials. And then I want to choose between Maul and Absolute Carnage. I'll get both. However, I doubt I'm that lucky. Okay. Now, so far, so good. Let's. There's speed bar there. Heal. He's doing speed, like, on her turn. It's I do need to check Spider-Man Symbiote's passive ability. I really want to know what that is. But that frenzy thing, whenever they drop below 25%, that happened a couple times there, so I'm not really like tripping off of it. So like the enemy did drop below 25% a couple times, so I saw it happen. But there were times, and tell me guys if I'm missing something, where I did not see them drop below 25%, but he still used frenzied. So, and if that's the case, I'm not complaining. Don't take, if that's a bug, keep it please. But feel like I might have been missing something. Okay, so let's go ahead and launch this one. Do I have enough? Yeah, I got enough for one more. Oh, maybe that's the loss. I'm losing energy, and then I have to get past those levels if I lose 10. Okay, no, that might be the punishment. That might be the penalty for it. And maybe they think that's punitive enough. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to try to run through this one real quick. I want to check Spider-Man Symbiote's passive ability. And then after that, I'm going to put it on auto and go from there. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. Bet. Here we go. All right, so let's see. Spider-Man Symbiote. On grab for launch, Doom 1, first strike. All right, so here we go. So we're going to go ahead and just do the A1. I'm just trying to hurry up and get to Spider-Man's passive. His passive is Perfect Host, Enrage, and Dark Dimension. Didn't know about Dark Dimension. When a negative effect is applied to an enemy, heal self and all hero, Spider-Verse, and Symbiote allies. So I'm going to heal my allies who are Symbiotes, bet, whenever negative status effect is applied to an enemy. That's all Venom and Carnage do. Okay. And Symbiotes for 3% of max health. So they get healed every time. Okay. I think that's cool as hell. Gain 100% drain. Symbiote allies again gain 100% drain. Drain is when you take their HP, give it to yourself. Gain, I think it's kind of self-explanatory. Gain plus 15% dodge chance. Gain plus 10% max health for hero, Spider-Verse, and Symbiote allies. Gain plus 10% health. So, I mean, it's cool. I get it. But that's still not saying why Frenzied is going off so much. Same time, though, I love that whole 100% drain thing. That's awesome. And then applying a negative status effect. Have to check out for the heal. Okay, that's cool. I'm cool with it. All right. If you like it, I love it. Let's go ahead and I want to check. I feel like I should check Frenzied again, but I know what it says. However, this does go to the point of, and I wanted to say this before when I do my beginner's journey video series, however it's going to go, like just kind of outlining the stuff I've learned in this whole like restarting Marvel Strike Force. Have an interview coming up with one of the members of Scopely, that is the developer of this game. Have an interview with him on Friday, so that'll be released sometime next week. Or, I mean, next week for you. You don't even know. It might be the same week. So, yeah, that'll be released soon. But, so I'm doing those videos, beginner's guides and stuff. Or beginner's tips from what I wish I knew when I started. But I will say this. Team synergies matter so damn much in this game. It took me a while because I'm transitioning, or have been transitioning. I've already transitioned from DC Legends to this game. And in that game, it was very much character focused, like each individual character. And there weren't a lot of synergies that you could even mess with, really. Like it didn't matter as much. In this game, I have to change my thought process to, is this character good, like plug and play? There's a couple of them, like Spider Weaver, like Ultron, like Kang. I did videos on them. Doctor Doom, for example. Shuri, Invisible Woman. There are characters that like just develop on their own because they will help. However, now the majority of the time is that I'm thinking 2 or 3 characters at a time. Meaning, if they had just reworked Venom, just gave him an upgrade, I may not have bothered with them, but they did Venom and Carnage, and I already had Anti-Venom and Spider-Man. I always want to call him Black Suit Spider-Man. Spider-Man Symbiote. I already had them developed, and I think level 90 because I like Anti-Venom a lot, and I just pulled 2 diamonds for Spider-Man Symbiote, who I like as well and I have pretty well developed. But with those 2 diamonds, I gotta work on them. That's how my roster works right now. So I already had like 2 of the like 5 members of the Symbiotes already ready. And then Venom and Carnage were not that far off. I think they were like level 75 each. And so was Scream. So like bringing them up to level was not that hard. If it had only been Venom, it'd be like, okay, is it worth it? But it's Venom and Carnage. It's just like with the Extreme X-Men. I already had like Cyclops pretty well developed. I'm working on Gambit now, and I did spoil myself on Nightcrawler. I'm not even gonna lie. But because there's like 3 characters there with the synergy, plus I have other X-Men who are already developed, that gives me a little bit more incentive to work on them. Working on individual characters, just not really going to bring you a whole lot. But when you focus on team synergies, man, it makes a huge difference. Hell, I mean, I've gotten stomped out by teams that I have double the power level on because they have a team synergy. It's just that simple. Okay, so they seem to be beastly. I have not seen, they have a bunch of counters where each of them has a counter. They're all basically fully healed. So this is like seemingly a cakewalk with only 19 seconds left. But the worst thing that happens is that I'm just going to lose that energy. I've already like committed to myself in my mind that I am going to go ahead and put some more like power cores into the energy just so I complete the Doom one. So as this comes to an end, thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. As I said before, if you don't like it, just subscribe. And unlike, I'm okay with that as well. See you guys next time. Before I say see you guys next time, be on the lookout for part 2 of this video where I go into Carnage and Venom more into the battles. Okay, now, see you guys next time.